Welcome to the Lions Den. Another week talking to the coaches here at Randall Ford, and UA Fort Smith is in the second half of the season, and we certainly appreciate everybody that's making it out to the ball games and coming down and seeing us here at Randall Ford. You know, we are the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America, and we've been here since 1908. So anytime you walk in, you're going to actually get to see a Randall, not just the name on the building. Some dealerships, they have name only. But at Randall Ford, we have a fourth generation owned and operated dealership. Mr. Randall's here every single day. So if some of you, I want to meet the owner, well, he's here. You'll get to meet him and get to shake hands with him and say hi. You come by and see us. We got some great deals. And I want to tell you something else. It's a great deal coming out to UA Fort Smith this Thursday and Saturday. Ticket prices are low, and you can come out and have a great time with your family and enjoy some great basketball entertainment. And Coach Ryan McAdams joins me. Coach, this week we have Nebraska-Kearney coming in. That'll be another conference, MIAA conference game. That's Thursday, 5:30 tip-off. This is an important game because you start a game, you start a stretch of ball games wrapping up the season, and conference tournaments coming up. So every single conference game from this point out is major red hot.
It is. And, you know, the kids understand the importance of each game, and we're continuing to work on the importance of every possession in those games and taking care of the basketball and making sure that we, you know, do our defensive coverages and those sorts of things that are necessary in order to be successful. And, you know, there's really good competition coming in this weekend, and we're excited about the opportunity to keep playing and try to put ourselves in the hunt, if you will. And you know, we have an opportunity to be in the comforts of our own home and play a little bit better than we did this past weekend. And, you know, I'm expecting the kids to be, you know, a little bit more grounded, you know, coming out of the ice storm and back into the school flow and being home for two. I'm excited just to kind of see how they respond.
Coach, played at Pittsburgh State over the weekend, and the atmosphere there is just crazy good. They a lot of fans in the stands. Man, love to see that type of atmosphere this Thursday and Saturday at the Stub, because the teams are playing their tails off, and man, I mean, it's great basketball.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Gibson, you know, made a post on Instagram after their win at Pitt State on Saturday, and he encouraged Fort Smith to come out and be the difference. And you know, I can't echo that enough, that, you know, when you put yourselves in a position of having a home court atmosphere advantage, it really does impact the game. It just impacts the energy level of the kids and those sorts of things. And so, yeah, we're excited about, you know, being home and trying to get people out to check us out. And yeah, you're right. The environment and the atmosphere at Pittsburgh State was very good, and our kids responded to that environment. I thought they played really well in spurts and really hard. You know, we had the game cut down to 2 in the fourth quarter, and you know, they really, you know, stuck their chins out there and really, you know, continued to respond to hits. I mean, Pitt State shot the ball well. Their post players were really physical and did good things, and you know, our kids just kept fighting back and putting ourselves in position to make shots, and I was really happy with that.
Coach, you know, you mentioned each possession being so important. When you break down the game film, a lot of times I don't think young athletes really think about that one possession and how important each and every possession is. I mean, one errant pass, one, you know, taking a couple of breaths and not playing as aggressive on defense. That could be the difference in a ball game. I mean, a bucket, a steal. It's so huge, and you can't emphasize it enough. And we've seen, you know, we've won some close games because they've made the plays. We've dropped some close games because, you know, an errant pass or a turnover. So it's so important. Each time you have the basketball is so important, and not just on offense, but each time you're on defense is so important. You have to be at the top of your game.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the main focuses as a coach now. It always has been to an extent, but I think right now, our ability to teach the game to the kids in a shorter period of time than, you know, traditionally we used to have athletes, is so critical, and translating it to games. So, you know, we lost 6 games in the first semester by one possession. And so, I didn't have to simulate it in practice. I didn't have to tell them about it and hope that it played out, in our favor. I was able to draw, experience and conclusions from real game representation. And our kids have really tried to stay, we call, just stay locked in, do the best you can in your role. One of our focuses on Saturday, coming out of Thursday where we had such a poor shooting night, was just not just the next play, but this moment. And it's funny you mention that because I've talked to, a handful, mostly our younger kids, about playing with purpose all the time. Not knowing where to throw it doesn't mean we dribble into traffic and turn it over. Not necessarily reading the game as quickly as we'd like doesn't mean we put it on the rim when we shouldn't. Finding ways to play with purpose every time we catch. And then to the defensive point, Pittsburgh State ran a lot of ball screens, and we work tirelessly on what we call tagging at the rim or stunting above the free throw line if the roller or the screener pops or rolls to the rim. And, even into February now, we're still working on that skill set of just knowing where my player is, but also being involved in the on-ball action. And so, those are just things that we continue to work on. We continue to rep out, and we continue to watch film on. And it's clicking for some. For others, it's still coming, and that's coaching. That's what it's about.
So, the remaining schedule, you have Fort Hays, Central Missouri, sitting right there at the top of the league with Missouri Southern. You have Washburn, Rogers State, which very close game at their place. You'll have the return game here. Northwest Missouri, Nebraska-Kearney, Central Oklahoma, which again another close game there at Central, and the Missouri Western. So the only games that you have left are with teams that you've seen is two. Mm-hmm. These will be new faces and new challenges.
Yeah, and I like that. When you play a team a second time, you know more about them, they know more about you. It becomes more of a chess match. I'm okay with those two. I like those. But, we go on the road for 4 of our last 6, and back-to-back weeks we're driving up to Missouri. And I think that the kids, especially this last weekend, kind of clicked into a groove of knowing what it's like to be on the road, be on a business trip, prepare yourself to play in somebody else's, place. And, Northwest Missouri, they do a great job. Washburn was picked to win our league. They've taken some hits, but they're also just a very good team, very strong post play. Luke Scheidecker at Missouri Western is a brand new JUCO guy like me. He's doing a great job of putting that thing together. You can't look anywhere and really, pinpoint, games that you should or shouldn't win. Like, I just think our league is a toss-up right now, even all the way through the top. And generally last year, I think the top couple or the top few really separated themselves. I just don't think that's happened yet this year. And so what that gives us as coaches is motivational tactics, right? And opportunities to, encourage our kids to stay encouraged and to stay locked in and be ready for the next chance.
Coach, this coming Thursday, you've got Miley Weirs and Jillian Ashcroft. Ashcroft's averaging double-double, 6.7 on rebounds and 13.9. Just a dominant ball player, and Weirs is averaging 15, almost 16 points a game. The rest of the team pretty good as well. So it's a well-balanced team that's with Kearney that'll be coming in. So this will be another challenge for you this Thursday.
Yeah, we really like our rim protection right now, which gives us the opportunity to guard people certain ways with the understanding that we have, security blankets built in behind us. And Lane Kirkendall and Rose Wemba are really doing a good job of protecting the rim without fouling right now. And they both had multiple blocks on Saturday and just do a really good job on ball screen coverages right now. And so, I'm more confident this year in that position group than I've been since I've been here. This is year 5. And that's just something that, in some respects gives me guidance on, like I say, on, play calls or game planning, I should say. And, anybody who's coming in with, like a 2-headed monster like a Kearney or, the team we got Saturday who's got a stud, like, we identify those kids. We try to key in on those kids. But like you say, people in our league spread the floor. They can shoot the ball. So, we just have to make sure that as a team, we're connected, we're ready to go defensively every possession and give it our best shot.
Coach, it's going to be a great game Thursday. Great game Saturday. Come on out, 5:30 tip on Thursday for the ladies. 7:30 for the men, and then on Saturday 1 o'clock
Yep.
and 3 o'clock. So 2 great games, 2 great teams coming in. Should be a great week of basketball, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
we've got a quick timeout. We'll be back with Coach Zane Gibson. Then we'll talk to Chris Davis from Randall Ford. Stay tuned as the Lions Den continues right after this. Welcome back to the Lions Den. Coach Zane Gibson jumps in with us. And, Coach, you have Nebraska-Kearney coming up and Fort Hays State this week. This is going to separate some people these last few games because we still have a log jam. Washburn right there at the top, but then you have Central, you have Rogers State, you have UA Fort Smith, Pitt State with only 4 losses in the conference, which one of those was just last Saturday. And then you've got Fort Hays that'll be here Saturday with 5 losses. Central Oklahoma will be one of our opponents coming up with 5, and Missouri Western with 5. So still a lot of teams, man, right there in the middle.
Yeah, the league hasn't separated yet outside of probably Washburn. They've separated up at the top, but everybody else, there's a log jam of about 6 teams that have 4 or 5 losses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, these next 2 weeks will probably show some separation. Maybe not. I don't know. Our league is just so tight. Maybe it continues to stay tight all the way down to the end. But certainly a huge week for us because you have to be able to protect home court to have a chance to be successful in this league.
I was watching the broadcast on Saturday, and I was doing that instead of selling cars. But you have to set your priorities. So UA Fort Smith basketball it took front seat on Saturday. The game against Pittsburgh State, great atmosphere. They do a really good job at Pitt State, and the thing I liked about it is your team rose to the occasion and took control in the second half and just they do what they do, man. They just win, baby.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's why you play college basketball, to play in big games on the road in front of great crowds, and Pitt does. They draw phenomenal. And in the first half, we were just not quite ourselves, not quite settled. But in the second half, we rose to the occasion. And to win on the road anywhere, and not just in this league, anywhere, you got to have some toughness. You have to have some togetherness. But in this league, the road gets emphasized because of the crowds and the level of competition across the way. Pitt State's a very good basketball team, and we had to dig deep and really play a high level of basketball, and we did that in the second half, and was proud of ourselves. Probably our best win of the year, honestly. Just with everything, the accumulation of where we are in the season, on the road versus a good team in front of a good crowd, coming off of a loss on Thursday, having to deal with winter storms earlier in the week.
Right.
Just with everything combined, was probably our best win of the season.
Coach, one of the things that really impressed me about Saturday's ball game was the perimeter defense. You forced them to take mid-range jumpers, and then coming off the screen when they would have to move into the mid-range, you still had another player right there in their face and forced them down the stretch to miss a lot of those mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, in the second half we really guarded. Holding them to 31 for the half, and I think like 40% from the floor and 20-some% from the three. We really guarded them in the second half, and that was with us at the end of the game, kind of fouling them a little bit to not let them get a 3 up when we were up 3. Kind of helped them score a couple other points. And anytime you can hold a team to right around 30 and a half, that's phenomenal. And again, we had to do it because we dug ourselves to the hole in the first half, and so we had to, basically decide every possession was a must stop. And the guys really rose their competition level and did what was required to win the basketball game.
Coach, this week let's fast forward to Kearney that's coming in, Nebraska-Kearney. Jabrian Hill, good ball player, very strong, very athletic. Kid can shoot the ball, but he's also a pretty good defender.
He's a one-man fast break. He was a really, really good player at high school in Duncanville High School. I actually remember watching him and recruiting him in high school. He went to a junior college, actually here in Arkansas National Park. Had a great junior college career. Obviously up there at Kearney now. He's a one-man fast break. If you don't get back, he doesn't need numbers. He's just a jet. He can split you. He can get to the rim. He can score the ball. He gets fouled a lot because he's so quick that you just don't move your feet. You don't get squared, so he gets you on angles. And then at half court, whenever you relax, he just attacks you again. And so it'll be a really big challenge. I know that they just had a tough week. But playing Washburn in Central Missouri, that'll do that to you.
Yeah.
And so I know they'll be ready to go. Their heads will be up when they get down here, and it'll be a tough challenge. Every MIAA game in February is going to be a tough challenge, and so we got to meet those challenges if we want to keep ourselves in the winning circle and keep our hopes alive for a lot of different things down the stretch.
So you've got Jabryant coming in with his talent, averaging 17, leading the team. It's 5 more points a game than the rest of the team. And then Fort Hayes, Makuna, he's averaging 18.4. Another good ball player on Saturday coming in that the Lions have to face.
Yeah, and he is a really good ball player, but Fort Hayes is who Fort Hayes is, and they are a grind you out, tough. It'll be the most physical team we have played all year long.
Right.
They lead the conference every single year in defense, total defense, and defensive 3-point field goal percentage, and defensive field goal percentage. I mean, that is what they are. So, Coach Johnson does a great job up there, and obviously they were in the NCAA tournament last year and the year before that. But he doesn't care who scores. They just want to make sure it's going to be impossible to score on them, and then their philosophy is they'll score enough to beat you. So that game will be an old-fashioned fight on Saturday. But we haven't even spent 1 minute on them yet, just because we have to worry about the one that's first.
Sure.
And Kearney's the most important game of the season right now because it's the next game, and it'll take everything we can give to them to win the game.
We were talking earlier about how the conference hasn't, separated itself as far as teams. We have games left against Washburn, Central Missouri, Rogers, Fort Hayes, Central Oklahoma, Missouri Western. All of those teams are in the hunt. Basically, I don't think anyone's going to catch Washburn at this point because they'd have to drop a bunch of games. They're 12-0 in the conference, but then everything else, it's seeding now is what you're playing for and fighting for the conference tournament. Everything else is just up in the air, and you still have a lot of good quality teams left on the schedule.
Yeah.
Night in and night out.
Oh, it's our February, which we knew when the schedule was drawn was gonna make or break us. Because we'll get tremendous RPI and strength of schedule points for any of those victories versus those teams. But at the same time, you don't get credit for losing basketball games.
Right.
So, if we have a good weekend and can go 2-0, we could be sitting in second place by ourselves. On the same token, if we have a bad week and go 0-2, we could be all the way down to 7th. And so that's just how close the league is. And I truly believe it's not just the numbers inside the league. I think that there are 7, 8, 9 really, really good basketball teams in this league that it doesn't matter where you play them, home or road, that they can beat you. And you have to bring a B+ or an A game to win those games. You can't survive in this league producing C level games because you're just not going to be good enough to win the game that night.
Coach, one of my favorite players. Every year you get to see faces from last year's team, and I always have favorites that are back from last year's, and then newfound favorites from the new guys that's come in. But man, Jaron McAllister, that guy puts a smile on my face every time I see him step on that court. He's such a competitor. He's always determined, and he's very quiet when he does it. He doesn't talk a lot of trash. He just gets out there and plays.
Yeah, Jaron is obviously probably one of our most mature guys on our team. He does just have a workman-like mentality. Super happy for Jaron. Obviously, if anybody knows the story, went to VCU out of high school and then towards ACL 3 straight years. He did not get to play for 3 straight years because he tore 2 on the right and 1 on the left and just could not get healthy. And we took a chance on him last year and finally had his first healthy season. And obviously is having just getting his feet underneath him last year was great. And now having another healthy season and being able to play basketball, it's crazy to say 2 straight years in a row after basically 3 years off, has led to him having a lot of success. Couldn't be happier for him. but like anything, he knows he's got a long way to go. We know we got a long way to
Sure.
go. But yes, if you want to support a young man and be really happy and have a feel good story, do some research on Jaron and everything that you read about him. You'll just be you'll be that much more excited for him when he's on the basketball court.
I like the fact that when VJ's on the court or Jaron's on the court, they mirror each other. They look similar as far as their game. Both of them can shoot the three. Both of them can take to the rim, and they both play really good defense. I like this team that you have.
Yeah, I haven't lost any faith in our team. We hit a couple potholes in the road. We didn't bounce out of them real well, but I feel like we're on the verge of getting back to who we were earlier in the year, and we're going to need to be because of, like you said, we play 6 of the top 8 schools to finish our schedule, and every single one of them will be an absolute battle, and every win will be celebrated because it'll be well fought. And every loss will be disappointed because, that's what it means. We're playing meaningful basketball in February, and it's where we wanted to be at the beginning of the season.
Playing for conference seeds now.
Yep, absolutely.
Can't wait, man. Thursday night, 7:30 for the men, 5:30 for the women. On Saturday, 1 and 3. Love to see the Stubblefield packed out. Listen, it's not a lot of money for tickets, man. Bring your whole family. Come on out. Set anywhere in there you want to set and just enjoy some great basketball action. Coach, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Watch that game on Saturday night. We were all sitting around my desk watching the thing on the MIAA network, and I'm going to tell you something. You have a bunch of fans here. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll have Chris Davis from Randall Ford coming up next on the Lions Den. Welcome back to the Lions Den. It's time to talk a little Randall Ford, and we're out here each and every Monday morning doing the show, and we always have Chris Davis, our sales manager, with us. And well, Chris, January wasn't very nice to a lot of people in Arkansas. A lot of snow towards the end, a lot of cold temperatures, but we're in February now, and we have some deals coming out of the snow where we couldn't sell cars that I think people are going to like.
We do. Everything's finally thawed out here. It was rough. Even when that snow hit, it stuck around.
Mm-hmm.
It was like people couldn't get out of their houses. We had ice out here, and it was just stuck, and we couldn't get it. It's finally, we got some sunshine. It's finally thawed off. We're into February, and we actually started this on the last day of the month of January. It's the We Can't Buy You Love, but We Can Buy You Dinner promotion, which means we've got hearts out there. We had you guys out there in the cold putting hearts on the dashes of over 100 of our vehicles here on the lot. If you buy a car that has a heart in it, then Randall Ford will buy you your Valentine's Day dinner. If you come out here and don't bring your wife, you don't have to tell her that's where you got it, so you can be the hero for that. But also, Cupid was nice enough whenever he came through, he dropped off his bow. He left it here with us. So every vehicle you buy in for the whole month of February, even past Valentine's Day, if you buy a vehicle, you get to shoot Cupid's bow. We have a target set up, and if you hit that target, then you win $100.
Hey, by the way, before we get too much further in it, I saw you shopping at the Diamond Center for Valentine's Day, so I think Michelle's going to be extremely happy. So.
You know what they say, happy wife, happy life. So Valentine's Day is coming up. Never forget that, because if you forget, they won't ever.
Exactly right. Chris, at Randall, one of the things we take a lot of pride in is having a great inventory of new vehicles, but our pre-owned vehicles, we have a great inventory of those right now.
We do. We've been concentrating on that because it seems like the first quarter of the year is always the end of the year. You sell a bunch of new. The first quarter of the year is always a used vehicle time because people get their tax money in. They're coming in. They're wanting to buy a used vehicle. If they bought the new, they already did. So now is used time. We know that. It happens every year. Just like the tide, it goes out, it comes back in. So we always make sure and stock up on a lot of quality used vehicles. So whenever you come in, we have something for you.
Now, we also have vehicles, low payments, and then we have vehicles that are, like a 24 Lexus.
Yeah, we've got some specialty vehicles whenever they come in. People buy the new vehicles, they trade in their vehicle. So we've got a big range of vehicles. We've got people going out, actually purchasing vehicles, looking for those specialty vehicles at auctions and other places, other buyers to get those vehicles in here. So we have a wide variety of vehicles.
They get to shoot Cupid's arrow too.
Yes.
So that's pretty good. All right, man. Hey, listen, come on out and see us. This dealership's open Monday through Saturday till 7 through the week, 6 o'clock on Saturdays. We want your business.
We didn't miss a day during the snow. We were here every day
Exactly.
during that snow too.
And we're not afraid of the competition. They can go shop them if they
Yeah.
want. We just want a shot at earning
Yeah.
their business.
Yeah. Holler at us last. Don't be sorry and don't call us, because then after you buy a vehicle and you call us in,
Yeah.
we can't help you.
Come see us at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Back to the Lions Den. Back to the Lions games are coming up Thursday, 5:30 and 7:30, and again on Saturday at 1 and 3 here at the Stubblefield Center. But come see us on the way. Drive that new vehicle or pre-owned vehicle to the ball games.